Welcome to this explainer. I am so excited to dive into today's topic because we are tackling one of the most frustrating yet absolutely critical scenarios you are going to face on the Snowflake COF-C03 exam. I call it the permissions illusion. Now, if you spent any time working with Snowflake Role-Based Access Control, or RBAC, you know exactly the headache I'm talking about. You think you have access, everything looks perfectly fine on the surface, but the system just flat out refuses to give you the data. So let's dive into this and crack that RBAC maze once and for all.
Okay, picture this setup. It's an incredibly common trap on the certification exam, and let's be real, a daily occurrence in the real world. Imagine you're logged in as a junior analyst. You have a massive reporting deadline looming in 10 minutes. You log in just fine, you're actively using a virtual warehouse, you look over at the Object Explorer, and you can clearly see the target database sitting right there. But the moment your select query hits the table, bam, everything halts. It returns a big, red, insufficient privileges error. So why does this happen? I mean, if you can physically see the database, shouldn't you naturally be able to query the data inside it?
Well, the short answer is absolutely not. This happens because of that permissions illusion I mentioned. Seeing a database name, or a schema name for that matter, absolutely does not prove you have the necessary privileges to traverse those schemas, let alone query the actual tables housed inside them. In Snowflake, object hierarchy is strictly enforced. There's no such thing as assumed permissions here. Container visibility simply means you have a surface-level look. You know the box exists, but merely seeing the outside of the box, that definitely doesn't equal access to what is locked inside.
Section 1. The 5-node privilege chain.
To solve this permanently, we really have to completely reframe how we look at permissions. We need to treat Snowflake role-based access control as a literal maze that requires a sequence of 5 specific keys to get to the center. See, Snowflake evaluates an exact sequence when you run a query. First, do you have an active role securely established in your session? Second, does that specific active role have usage privileges on the active warehouse to provide the compute power? Third, do you have usage on the database container? Fourth, do you have usage on the specific schema within that database? And only then, fifth, do you finally have the specific object privilege, like a select grant, on the table itself? A missing grant at any one of these 5 specific nodes instantly breaks your entire execution chain. You literally cannot skip steps, and you definitely can't assume a successful step 3 guarantees a successful step 4.
Let's move on to Section 2, Container Visibility versus Ownership. Now, understanding this builds right into another massive exam trap, confusing traversal access with administrative control. Because, once people realize they're missing a privilege in that chain, they tend to overcompensate in the absolute worst way possible. You really have to grasp the difference between these two concepts. Think of it like a building. Container visibility comes from usage privileges. This simply allows your active role to walk through the front doors of the database and then through the doors of the schema just to get to the table. Ownership, on the other hand, gives you administrative control to alter, drop, or completely reshape the object. Having usage just means you can walk down the hallway. It does not mean you own the building. And owning the building is certainly not a requirement to just, read a single document in one of the rooms.
So the absolutely crucial point here is this. Do not transfer ownership to fix a routine select error. If the exam scenario states that a data analyst needs to read a table and they're hitting an access error, transferring ownership is a massive, heavy administrative action. It is not a generic workaround for a blocked query. If you do this on the exam, you will lose points, for sure. You just need to carefully fix the broken node in the usage chain, not hand over the deed to the entire building.
Section 3. The Account Admin Exam Trap.
This brings us directly to the absolute biggest pitfall examiners love to use to test your governance instincts, the temptation to just bypass the entire maze altogether. Listen carefully as a test taker. When an exam scenario asks how to fix a missing privilege, granting a broad role like account admin is almost always the distractor. It's the shiny red button that examiners put right in front of you. In the real world, sure, lazy admins love to grant account admin because it makes the symptom disappear immediately. It forces the system to bypass the entire hierarchy. But on the COF-C03 exam, do not take the bait. It is a trap completely designed to catch bad habits.
Those broad admin answers completely violate the fundamental principle of least privilege that Snowflake architecture demands. This principle dictates that you provide only the exact minimum access required to perform a specific task, starting with the narrowest possible grant. If an analyst just needs to run a simple, monthly, read-only report, giving them the power to accidentally drop the entire database or reassign warehouses is a massive security flaw. Giving them total account control is the exact opposite of secure architecture, which, remember, is what you're actually being tested on.
Section 4. Validating the grant chain.
So instead of throwing a massive admin sledgehammer at the problem, we need to be surgical. We need to precisely locate the missing key using our diagnostic toolkit. These exact commands are your lifeline when troubleshooting these specific exam scenarios. For example, using select current _role completely proves your active execution context before you waste any time at all looking at object grants. You might firmly believe you're acting as an analyst, but actually your session might have defaulted to a public role or a different role entirely upon login. Once you actually verify the role, then you use Show Grants on Table to review the final object privileges and see exactly what's missing.
You absolutely must validate this execution sequence from the outside in. Don't jump straight to the table. Start at the top. Check the active role. Check the inherited secondary roles. Verify the warehouse usage. Move down to the database and schema usage. And then, finally, check the target table select. By proving each layer of authorization sequentially, you replace dangerous assumptions, which, trust me, will absolutely cost you time and precious exam points, with hard, verifiable evidence.
If there is one golden rule you take away from this explainer for your exam prep, it's this. You must rigorously follow the chain without skipping straight to the table. The exam is testing your architectural discipline just as much as your technical knowledge. A missing schema usage grant looks exactly like a missing table select grant if you don't trace the path properly.
So I want to leave you with this question to think about as you continue your study. The next time you face a permissions maze, will you panic and reach for that account admin sledgehammer? Or will you calmly use your 5 keys to unlock the chain? Because mastering that disciplined analytical approach, that is exactly what separates a frustrated user from a fully certified Snowflake professional. Good luck out there on your exam and keep following that chain.